Welcome to the Adhocracy Show. On today's episode,
Trump cuts the arts.
what does that mean?
And what should we do?
We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm David Landeen.
And I'm JD Melville, and welcome to the Adhocracy Show, where we geek out about advertising, marketing, art, and design.
Now, if you're here for the first time, you should click that subscribe button, and so you can know about our episodes, which happen every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
How exciting.
That's very exciting.
We're going to jump right in. So every 4 years, we get to participate in the voting of the president of our nation. This is a time-honored tradition that in current day comes with a lot of political discussion.
Now, in most elections, when the presidency changes, it comes with budget cuts, it comes with hard decisions, it comes with new directions, and it's particularly true when the presidency changes parties.
Yeah. Budgets are considered, programs weighed, and cuts are made to change the national spending, both to fulfill campaign promises, but also to kind of rebalance things politically towards what their thinking is.
But what we want to discuss today are specific budget cuts that are being considered to eliminate the corporation, or cuts to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, the National Endowment for the Arts, and the National Endowment for the Humanities.
Now, this isn't the first time that these cuts have been considered for defunding and elimination. They have over the years been looked at by many different people, many different parties, many different presidencies.
But now there's a lot of talk about what Trump may... So there's people who speculate. They look at what Trump may have supported at the arts, and they are trying to figure out what his opinions are towards these particular programs or budget cuts.
Yeah, and there's also speculation over how he's been trying to control the media, discredit, attack the media based on things that he and his group dislike. Some speculate or point to this as how he may control the arts as sort of a foreshadowing.
Now, what we want to do on this show, no matter how you feel about this, we want to make sure that we lay things out on the table and understand what this means to you and what you may, if you feel passionate like we do, what you might want to do about it.
Yeah, so what's being cut here? Trump is using what's known as a skinny budget created by the Heritage Foundation. This plan is trying to cut government spending by $10.5 trillion in the next decade. This plan includes major cuts funding to the NEA and the NEH, and they would privatize the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Cutting the NEA and the NEH is estimated to cut $151 million from government spending. That's $151 million each. So that'd be an estimated $300 million from government spending.
As may well be known, the CPB, the NEA, and the NEH support several causes and programs like PBS, NPR, AmeriCorps, plays, pageants, opera, scholarly journals, and a wide range of other programs.
Now, there would be several layers of steps to fully get rid of these organizations, and they had to be agreed and voted upon by Congress eventually. But what's unclear is what impact this would have on both to jobs and money generated by the arts.
So let's talk about the philosophy and benefits of cutting these things. In both the Blueprint for Balance from the Heritage Foundation and from Trump's campaign responses, the questions seem to favor private contributions as well as organization on more of a state level.
And to quote the Blueprint, in the words of Citizens Against Government Waste, they say, actors, artists, and academics are no more deserving of subsidies than their counterparts in other fields. The federal government should refrain from funding all of them.
It continues, taxpayers' assistance of the arts is neither necessary nor prudent. Taxpayers should not be forced to pay for plays, paintings, pageants, scholarly journals, regardless of the work's attraction or merit.
And a quote on humanities, they say, private individuals and organizations should be able to donate at their own discretion to humanities organizations and programs as they wish. Government should not use its coercive power of taxation to compel taxpayers to support cultural organizations and activities.
They've also laid out a couple of good points that on why they should be eliminated. Some of them include the arts have enough support without the NEA from donations and funding. The NEA is a welfare for cultural elitists, so it only goes to mid to upper class. It discourages charitable gifts to the arts because they're getting money, which kind of discredits the first point. It lowers the quality of American art and promotes politically correct art, which we know they do not like the politically correct thing.
In essence, the belief seems to point to the idea that taxpayers' money isn't and shouldn't be spent on the area of arts. It's wasteful, and cutting will prove the government is willing to cut wasteful spending.
So let's talk about what this is going to affect. Now, it's easy to picture funding going to just some starving artists, some lonely artists just doing paintings. But the program and the supports are very robust and vast. It takes quite a bit of, it takes some effort to get the money. And there's also some great things with the state will like match funding for how much comes in. So you kind of get a bolster in the actual arts.
Yeah, to put this in perspective of what is accomplished, the NEH has supported the creation of 16 Pulitzer Prize winning books and Ken Burns' famous documentary, The Civil War. The NEA also helped to get the Sundance Film Festival off the ground, which has been amazing. I mean, we're here in Utah. We love the Sundance Film Festival. It helps our economy. It's a great way of bringing support for the arts here.
But it also supports a lot of things nationally. I mean, that program alone has grown to be somewhat of a giant and a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, it wouldn't have happened without the NEA.
Yeah, Robert Redford does have some words to say on these programs being cut if you want to look those up. This combined budget of the NEH and the NEA accounts for just over 0.002%, and that's percent, of federal discretionary spending. So it's hard to see how these cuts are going to really make, a big splash, especially when looking at the bigger budget, and considering when we increase spending in military and nuclear progression.
But also looking at the flip side of this, of what the arts and culture production does for our economy, when you look at the other side, it raises even more questions about why they're trying to cut these.
Yeah, $704 billion was contributed by the arts and culture, which is 4.2% of the U.S. GDP, and is greater than contributions of construction, transportation, as well as the warehousing industries. As well, 4.74 million people have been employed by the arts and humanities since 2003.
So basically, cutting the arts is cutting jobs.
He's going to be making jobs.
Yeah. But for that alone, like the math, it costs you millions and you're getting back billions. It's an investment program. You are investing in the arts. Although the arguments of cutting it suggest that basically it only supports middle and upper class. If you look at privatized funding, the patronage seems to only play to the upper class as it supports the interests of the wealthy. So, for instance, the privatized organization is the wealthy lady who only funds what she wants. She loves opera. She has her name on the brick on the opera house.
And 40% of the activities of these funds actually go to support high poverty areas, as well as supporting arts to the kids, giving them classes, giving them workshops, giving them cultural events, attendance to performances, and fostering creative thinking, and helping grow inquisitive minds.
And there are so many other arguments that we could be using for this. For instance, arts improve individual well-being. Arts unify communities. Arts improve academic performance. Arts strengthen the economy. Arts are good for local business. Arts drive tourism. Arts are an export industry. Arts spark creativity and innovation. Arts improve healthcare, and arts are used for healing in the military.
Yeah, so let's talk over some of the final counterpoints here. The art spans so much more than just painting, dancing, singing, and all that. It it reaches further and further into our lives today, more than we may think.
Think of how much money comes from TV, movies, and music. We had the Oscars. And how art has enlivened marketing, advertising, sales, and business. Now, if you don't think that is good, if those things don't matter, well, tell that to Apple, which has been one of the highest valued companies ever.
And their focus, and a lot have argued that it's design, right? A lot of their thing is design. Yes, they're a computer company and their product and everything, but they are a design company. Yeah. Think of literature, poems and stories that have affected our lives, that go on for generations to help define who we are now, what we want to become, and who we can be in the future.
With the effects of how this could shake the foundation of arts, humanities, and learning, we should consider what we might lose with these budget cuts.
And with the small amount of funding that actually goes to these arts in comparison to the big picture, is it really worth, cutting that, devaluing it, and losing the things that add color, depth, and abstract into our lives?
Funding the arts is investing in communities. It's investing in it's an investment in what we love. Now we need to, I guess we should say, we are not funded by the NEA, the NEH, or anything like we should get on that train. That'd be great, but we are not doing this because we are in any way funded by them. We want to talk about this because we honestly believe that art matters.
Yeah, I mean, it is all of the stuff that we love. It's the stuff that after we work a full day, we go and we look for art. We do entertainment. We go and read books. These are the things that add more to our lives than just being a robot working.
It fosters creativity. It fosters looking to the future and becoming an individual and doing what you love. Taking those away and defunding them would not be good for society. And that is our opinion. We know that you have a different opinion out there. But if you are passionate like us, if this is important to you, and you feel like we do that you need to get involved, our government is based on checks and balances, and make your voice heard. Contact your representative.
It would take a lot for them to actually cut these things, but it is something that could be done. So make sure that you get involved. Make sure that if art is important to you, make sure that it's important to all of us. It's part of our culture, our heritage, and who we are in the future.
So there it is. We laid it out for you.
Let us know in the comments below what you think. We'd love to hear different political sides. We've done a lot of work to really dig into this one because it's something we're passionate about. We tried to consider both sides and really looked at what we're doing. But let us know in the comments below what you think. Let us know what things we may have missed.
Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing to this channel where we talk about advertising, marketing, art, and design.
And make sure you join us on our various different social medias. We're over there talking to people and showing stuff and doing those things.
So we want to end with an amazing video of Fred Rogers talking to the Senate about trying to get
Pastore.
Yeah, trying to get PBS some funding so they could continue their program. It's great.
This is a philosophical statement and would take about 10 minutes to read, so I'll not do that. One of the first things that a child learns in a healthy family is trust.